What is going on, everyone? I am Pat the Pac-Man, and today we're going to talk about, well, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to talk about. First of all, look at this cuteness. Look at this cuteness. The Sockster just resting his cute little head on top of the pepper. He's like a little pillow. I know. He's so cute. Okay, but before we get started, I want to remind you guys to wag your tail on over, bark at that like button if you like this video, but also don't forget, slap a paw on that subscribe button. You do not want to miss out on all the cool videos we got coming out, including our podcast, Barking for Bounds, which is really, really cool, and it premieres every Thursday. You can also listen to that on all major podcast platforms as well. I want to talk to you about the concept of living in the present, living in the moment. It's very important, not just for dogs, but for our own lives. It's really, really a cool concept, and I wasn't planning on shooting this topic, but it's a lot. They do not, nobody tried that, or on your bed. Don't like that at all. Them making the decision to do so whenever it is that they feel so. I don't know, just got a little inspired, I don't know, I just felt something inside, and I think God was saying, you know what, I think why don't we focus on this topic instead of what we're going to talk about. It's a very important thing to address. Living in the moment, living in the present, not just for dog purposes. You know what? That's what dogs do. Dogs live in the moment. So this is where they live. They live in the present moment. So why did I choose this topic? Well, I was planning on doing something different with today's instructional video, and I wasn't feeling confident about it. No, I just was a little off. So feeling a little frustrated around here, just not feeling inspired. And then all of a sudden God said, you know what? And this dawned on me. So when it comes to dogs and we're correcting or rewarding, one of the things you got to remember is that dogs live in the moment. That's where they live. So the moment that they do something wrong is the moment to correct them. The moment that they do something right is the moment to reward them. So we can't miss those windows. It's a split-second timing, because a lot of times when it comes to our dogs, we correct or reward the wrong moments, and we're nurturing the wrong things, because what happens is that our dogs are doing different things in different moments. Their brain is in a different state at different moments. So for example, when it comes to like a puppy that's play biting, what a lot of people do is they're playing, and the puppy starts biting them, and then they continue to play, or they continue to give affection, and now in the brain of the dog, they're saying, okay, well, my mommy or my daddy likes it when I bite them, which means I'm going to do more of it. So when it comes to like correcting a dog, a lot of people also, they stay in a corrective mode after the dog transitions out of that state. So they'll stay in that, no. Now the dog is doing something completely different at that point, right? They're not in that state. They're not in that moment any longer. So what happens is that you are now correcting the different moment. So they're doing something, you said that's not good. They're doing something completely different. You're still saying that's not good. So that's going to create a lot of confusion. And then out of confusion comes frustration. Out of frustration comes chaos. So we have to learn to live in the moment when it comes to our dogs, because split-second timing is key, guys. It's key. Correcting the right moment, but we also have to learn to come out of it and relax and feed that relaxation so that our dogs can understand, okay, so what I was doing at this moment, they don't like, so let me try to do this. Because you got to remember, what our dogs want is to please us. So if we're constantly showing displeasure when they're transitioning through these different moments, they're not going to know what it is that we want, because they're just confused, right? So why do I say that living in the moment is also crucial for us? It's simple. Our relaxation becomes theirs. Their relaxation becomes ours. When it comes to Socks and Pepper, they help me focus. They help me calm down in moments when I get frustrated or confused or angry. Just before, like I said, I was in the process of shooting this video, completely different topic, different takes. I was getting very frustrated. I had Hannibal in the background talking. It was just, the whole thing just didn't feel right. And so in that moment, I was feeling frustrated. So instead of, exactly, thank you, Hannibal. Seriously, what was I thinking? So instead of coming out of that moment, regrouping, I decided to stay in the past of frustration, staying in the past of anger. And that's what we do as humans. Dogs don't live in the past. They don't live in the future. They live in the present. So what we need to learn is we need to understand that when it comes to the past, we learn from the past, right? That's us right now. We learn from the past, and that's what we have to utilize it for. But we learn from the past in the present. Also, we plan for the future, but we plan for the future in the present moment. So I think of that concept as looking at your feet, meaning where you are at that moment, and it's moment by moment by moment. Exactly, Hannibal. Seriously, it's a good point, and it's an important point. Thank you. Thank you for making my point, Hannibal. So, when it comes to dogs and humans, why can't we learn that the moment is what counts? And in my particular case, feeling frustrated because of what had happened was clouding my mind because I was so upset of what had happened the moment and moments before that I wasn't able to focus in the present. Finally, my baby's energy finally came into me, and then God blessed me and inspired me to say, you know what? This is the moment. Let's change the topic. Let's go in a completely different direction, and let's focus on something that's important. Because as much as it sounds trivial and you're thinking, well, I want to learn about dogs. Guess what? This is the most important concept, or let me rephrase that. This is one of the most important concepts that you need to apply on a day-to-day basis with your dog. Also, it's important to apply that on a day-to-day basis with yourself. Why? Because when we live in the present moment, we stay calm. We're calm because the future doesn't exist and nor does the past. They don't exist anymore, right? So we look at the past for lessons on what to do, and then we focus on that in the present, which means that our emotions are calm because we've experienced all those negative emotions, anxiety, regret, anger, frustration, fear, based on past or future, not in the present, right? So if we do it like these guys, dogs, then this is how we become. And I feel so much more relaxed in a matter of seconds when I shifted my focus out of the frustration of what was out of the frustration of what had happened before, and now I'm calm. So I'm able to convey this message, and I tell my clients this all the time because they're always talking about the past. Well, my dog did this, and my dog did that, or I want my dog to do this, I want my dog to do that. I say, yeah, but at what point do you focus on where you are right now? At what point do you focus on doing the things that you want to do, but addressing them right this second? You're looking 10 miles ahead. That's way too far. It's almost like if you have a child and, you're starting to plan for college. You're not enjoying all those moments of babyhood and adolescence and toddlerness and all those moments that are so important because we're looking just 10 miles down the road. Let's live in the moment, and it's moment by moment. And don't get frustrated with certain things that really don't matter because in the present time, they really don't. I mean, again, shooting a video that had a completely different, we're going in a completely different direction here, and all of a sudden, here we are. That could create a lot of people that could make a lot of people frustrated, that they were trying to go in a direction, but you know what? Sometimes you got to go in a different direction. And now we're living in a different moment, and it's okay. This is a concept, honestly, that is something that was on the agenda of shooting a video about living in the present. Listen, this is just the right time. So here we are. Live in the present. Learn from the past. Plan for the future. But we do that all in the present. When it comes to our dogs, correct, relax. Correct, relax. Reward, right time, come out. Don't continue to stay in those moments. Whether they're negative, meaning you're correcting, or whether they're positive, meaning you're rewarding. They feed. This is the beauty of calm, present living creatures like these guys, dogs, beautiful creatures that teach us to live in the moment. So we're having a bad moment, let them affect you in a good way. Much like we have to learn to affect them in a good way by being calm. My frustration wasn't helping them. They were getting anxious by seeing me all frustrated. Pepper was getting all concerned, right? Sox was getting all concerned. She knew Daddy wasn't in a good state because he wasn't living in the present, which means that their present was screwed up. as well. So I was affecting them in a negative fashion, but then they turned it around and affected me in a positive. So bottom line, guys, live in the present, plan for the future, learn from the past, no matter what it is that you're doing. If you're painting the house, mowing the lawn, doing the dishes, just live in that moment. I know some activities there suck, but when you live in that moment and you give it your all in that moment, it turns out to be kind of cool. You just get through it, and it's kind of nice to accomplish something that you get done. You know, if you have a hobby, you know, you go into the hobby, you're in that moment, you forget about work, you forget about bad health, you forget about bad relationships, because you're in that moment and the past and the future don't exist. So hope this video was helpful. I mean, if you know anybody that is going through some stuff, you know, share this with them. They'll find it useful. I mean, it's a lesson that I've learned and I'm learning and continue to learn. Keep getting reminded of from my babies over here, from the dogs, that we have to live in the present. Live in the present. Live in this present moment. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, the present's all that counts. So share it with some people that could use a little uplifting message, and I think they'll thank you for it. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, make sure you wag your tail on over and bark at that subscribe button. This way you won't miss out on all the cool stuff that we post. In addition, you won't miss out on our podcast, Barking for Balance, which premieres every Thursday. Believe me, you don't want to miss out on that. It's really cool. Links down below on all podcast platforms. In addition, make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram. This way you don't miss out on all the content that we don't post on YouTube, in addition to staying up to date with all the cool stuff that we got going on. Remember, guys, it's about training people, not training dogs.